Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives, back for another ranking video. Actually, it's my 26th ranking video already. I can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. But anyways, today I'm going to take a look at all 11 studio albums from Gamma Ray. You might know the main guy from that band. His name's Kai Hansen, co-founder of Helloween, and left the band in probably late 89, came back in 2016. You know the story, Pumpkins United. We're all looking forward to probably, about 4 weeks from now, brand new album, self-titled. The whole Pumpkins United thing started off in about 2016. I have this so far, Skyfall, great single. Really kind of grew on me really fast, and I do like the exclusive alternative vocal mix on here, also the 12-minute version. Anyways, I thought, you know what? We're waiting for this new album. Let's take a look at a band that, kind of flies under the radar to a certain degree. A lot of people don't really, I wouldn't say, well, depends. It depends on you. Maybe you don't even know about Gamma Ray, or that it is Kai Hansen's band, formed in 1990 with a good friend of his, Ralph Scheepers. You might know that name from Primal Fear. Actually, check out some Primal Fear too. There's another ranking video down the line, but there is their debut from 1998, and there's 13 albums total, all the way to last year's great release called Metal Commando. Just solid, heavy metal. Yeah, you can throw the power metal in there, traditional, in the case of even early Helloween, speed metal. But anyways, we're going to go through all 11 of these Gamma Ray albums. Use it as a guideline if you're not familiar. I'm not saying it's the perfect guideline. And if you know the band, let me know your opinion about some of these albums. You know what? We all have our own opinions, but there are some really, really good albums here to check out. What else was I going to say? Yeah, like I said, just, I watch ranking videos just for fun. And if it's a band I don't know so well, I will check out, the top 3 or 4. And maybe it's a band I end up getting into also. But so if you've missed the boat, maybe you're a huge Helloween fan and you want to check out some, maybe what Helloween would have sounded like if Kai stayed in the band, especially with his songwriting, super strong in that area. And well, also Helloween. Actually, there was a period between 1994 and 2001 where we got and of course, Andy Darris joined Helloween and put out some great albums too. But 94 Helloween album, Gamma Ray 95, so on. Every other year was an album from each of these bands, and that was a really an awesome 8-year or so period to check out. But anyways, let's get started. I won't waste any more of your time with me babbling. But so this is a band that was formed, like I said, with Ralph Scheepers. And Ralph stayed for 3 albums. Some of these I like a lot. And my number 11 is my least favorite. And then the next, they're kind of in little bits, chunks. You could kind of flip-flop a couple of these, depending on your opinion or whatever. But coming in at number 11 is their 3rd overall studio album from 1993. And last to feature Ralph Scheepers on vocals. Insanity and Genius, just not as memorable for me. There's some really good tracks on here, but overall I would just say it's kind of a flatliner. But check out the tracks. Well, there's a very cool cover of a band called Birth Control, but the song is called Gamma Ray, how the band was named. Very cool cover. They really make it their own. Insanity and Genius, cool song. Brothers to wrap it up. And my favorite track actually is sung by Kai. It's called Heal Me. And you know what, Kai, I've always been a fan of Kai Hansen. Right since the first EP of Helloween and Walls of Jericho, which I have on in the background. Yes, limited range, I admit that. But just a unique vocalist, great guitar player, awesome solos, and a very strong songwriter. So anyways, let's continue on. Number 10. This one might come as a little bit of a surprise to people. And I think more so because this is one of the albums I personally think a lot of fans or people do own. It's readily available. It's inexpensive, especially on CD. You can get it for like $6-7. But overall, not the strongest album, but there is some great tracks. So coming in at number 10, their 10th overall studio album from 2010, a lot of 10s there, is To the Metal. Very cool artwork. And I don't know if this is the alternate cover. I'm going to show you, I'll flip it over here in a second. And here's the back cover. We will talk about some tracks in a second, but here is, actually this is on the latest vinyl reissue from Ear Music. Very cool cover too, awesome artwork. Check out the tracks. Well, I like the opening track, Empathy. Second track featuring Michael Kiske is called All You Need to Know, not bad. I guess my favorite tracks honestly would be Time to Live and To the Metal. I mean, To the Metal title track, just an epic metal tune. Check that out. So that's coming in number 10, To the Metal. And what you're going to find with, especially in the later half of this discography, more so than in the earlier stuff, but huge Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, even some Accept influences in these songs. There's actually songs on here where I'm like, am I listening to a Judas Priest riff? Is that an Iron Maiden medley? And I'll try to mention some of those as I go. But anyways, coming in at number 9, their 9th overall studio album from 2007 called Land of the Free 2. Some great artwork, and thanks to several people. I did a Gamma Ray Spotlight a couple of years ago, and I didn't even know the mascot's name. The mascot's name is Fang Face. Thank you for that, everybody. I appreciate that. And there's the artwork. So tracks to check out on this album. Oh, let's see. Now, and I said earlier, there's riffs that are just like, oh, wow, that's like Judas Priest. There's a song on here called Real World. There is a breakdown near the end of the song that you'd swear it was right from Judas Priest, the song The Sentinel. Very, very, yeah, you'll know it. And then there's another song, When the World. Kind of just after the intro, there's a guitar riff that absolutely reminds me of Iron Maiden, Flash of the Blade. But anyways, those are actually two really good tracks to check out. To Mother Earth, Into the Storm, Leaving Hell is probably my favorite track on this album. So coming in at number 9, did we say, is Land of the Free 2. Coming in at number 8, and there's a couple here we could swap spots. They're very close. They're very, I don't know if I mentioned it, but they really haven't put out a bad album in my opinion. So coming in at number 8 is their first overall album, Heading for Tomorrow. And here is an original, this is an original pressing on Noise Records. I'll take that out so there's no glare. So there's Kai and Ralph right on the cover. There has since been updated versions, I think 25th anniversary versions of the first 4 albums on Ear Music. And the artwork has been updated, and it is awesome, awesome artwork. Check those out. Ear Music does a great job with their releases. Anyways, so coming in at number 8 is Heading for Tomorrow. This is a solid album. I'd say the first, there's a good 6 tracks on here that are awesome. Heaven Can Wait, Space Eater, Money. Probably my favorite track on here is Heading for Tomorrow. And this one wraps up with a cover of Look at Yourself, a Uriah Heep cover song. So that's coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7. This one, originally, I probably would have put it maybe a notch down on the list, but you know what? I listened to it constantly when it came out, and I was like, you know what? This is a really good album. And I put it on the other day, just kind of refresh my memory, and it kind of just reminded me, yes, how good it still was. And this is their last studio album from 2014, and you know what's happened. You know, Kai's busy with this and that, and hopefully we still do see Gamma Ray continue in the future. But coming in at number 7 is their 11th overall studio album from 2014 called Empire of the Undead. Let me grab that cover out of there. So this is the one and only album to feature new drummer Michael Erie, who's now the drummer for Primal Fear. You know what, might as well, you know, a lot of these guys will go from band to band, and you know, obviously with Halloween being very busy, you know, why not go help out Ralph Scheepers on drums and Matt Sinner. There is the cover, and you're going to see, besides the first 3 albums, you're going to see Fangface on all of these covers, and if I had the anniversary editions, you'd see him on every cover. Anyways, tracks to check out on Empire of the Undead. Avalon, great opening track. Hellbent, great track. Pale Rider. Master Confusion, actually there's an EP called Master Confusion 2. I do have that too. Where is that? Here it is. This came out, Master Confusion EP came out just prior to the release of Empire of the Undead. Anyways, great track. It's one of those fun Kai Hansen kind of written fun tracks. Anyways, also check out Empire of the Undead, really cool song. And there's a, I don't know why it says European bonus track, Built a World. Awesome way to close this album, regardless if it's bonus track or not. I think they just do that. Record companies just do that to whatever, tempt you to buy it more, who knows. All right, coming in at number 6, and this album is so their first album, Heading for Tomorrow, was kind of a, you know, more of a power metal. Well, there's a lot of power metal in here, but you know, what I'm trying to say is their second album, and coming in at number 6, Sigh No More, and probably the worst cover in the bunch, to be honest with you. This is just the total shits, but the updated cover of this, check it out, it's awesome. But anyways, this one really kind of gets in that gamma ray zone. Very unique, on, you know, not sounding like too many other bands on this one, but just a solid album. And definitely you can see what's happening on this cover. Not a lot, but there is the back. So this is the first album to have Dirk, and I hope I pronounce his last name properly, Schleckner on guitar, who later switched over to bass. There is a period of this band where there's 6 albums with a very solid lineup with Dan Zimmerman on drums and Henjo Richter on guitars, and Dirk, who switched from guitars back to bass, the position that he really wanted to be in. Anyways, this is his first album that he's a full-time member, and yeah, just a great album. Check out the songs Changes, Rich and Famous, the third track, and by the way, this has Ralph Scheepers on vocals. The third track, As Time Goes By, just a speed metal, just awesome. And the 9th track, I really like this one. It's called Dream Healer. So coming in at number 6 is Sigh No More. Coming in at number 5 is, I guess, a bit of a newer, no, well, I mean, 2005 is a long time ago, so we'll say midpoint. But coming in at number 5 is their 8th overall studio album from 2005 called Majestic. And there is some very cool cover art with Fangface on the cover. There's the back cover of the band, the shot of the band. This is this has some of my favorite tracks. There is a few filler tracks in here, but if you want to check out anything, check out Condemned to Hell, Blood Religion, what a song that is. What else? How Long, great track. And my favorite track on this album is track 3, called Strange World. And on Hell Is Thy Home, actually there's a very familiar kind of a Judas Priest riff there that you might recognize right away from the album Ram It Down. The song is called Hard as Iron. Yeah, you'll kind of smile if you listen to that track. Yeah, check out Hell Is Thy Home, and you'll hear some heavy Priest influences on that. So coming in at number 5 is Majestic from 2005. And the final 4, I'd say any one of these, especially the top three. Check them out. They're just phenomenal albums. You know, if you missed the boat on some Halloween albums back in, you know, or if you gave up on Halloween after, you know, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2, and you got disappointed with the next two, which there's actually some good tracks on there. But anyways, try some of this out. Coming in at number 4, their 6th overall studio album. And this one has some familiar artwork from a guy named Derek Riggs, who's done so much Iron Maiden stuff. But this one is Power Plant, coming in at number 4. And this is really hard to see, but on the back, the artwork does a little more justice. So this is all Derek Riggs artwork. Would I ever love to have this on vinyl? That would look awesome. But check out this album. There is, and this is the second album also to feature this, you know, that core lineup that was on 6 albums. Just a solid album. Check out Anywhere in the Galaxy, Razor Blade, Sigh. There is a cover on here of It's a Sin, a Pet Shop Boys cover. Honestly, I could just wipe that right off this album. It's not great, but there is plenty of good stuff on here. Check out my 2 favorite tracks, Strangers in the Night, absolute speed metal, just a, well, you call it a classic. It's really that good. And my favorite track is called Send Me a Sign. You know, typical Kai Hansen songwriting. You'll know it right away. But so coming in at number 4, Power Plant from 1999. Great album from 1999. Coming in at number 3, their 5th overall studio album from 1997, and one of my absolute favorites, Somewhere Out in Space. And this one, actually, this album features my overall single favorite Gamma Ray song, and I'll tell you about that in a second. A little long. There's 15 tracks on here. There's a bonus track. I think there's a couple, you know, like 1 minute type of, you know, bridge tracks in here. But this also features some, you know, great songwriting from everybody. Lots of contributions from everybody. But you could just check out anything from here. Check out Men, Martians, and Machines, The Guardians of Mankind, Valley of the Kings, awesome song, Pray. But my favorite track is called No Stranger, Another Day in Life. Just play that one. I just love the intro, Kai singing, I See a Hole in the Sky. You know, it just awesome stuff. And it really gets you pumped up too. But anyways, coming in at number 3, Somewhere Out in Space from 1997. Leaving 2 left. And I would say for sure, if you're a fan, this one easily could be your number 1. This is when Kai took over vocals from Ralph. Ralph left the band probably, well, I would say, you know, he was probably auditioned for Priest in probably 94, 95. I mean, Jugulator didn't come out till 97. So there's, a lot of downtime in Priest there. But Ralph had left the band and Kai took over full-time vocals. And they put out this just masterpiece, in my opinion, called Land of the Free. And there is a very cool shot of Fangface, which looks, you know, just a continuation. You know, you probably thought, well, if you're not going to use this mascot after Walls of Jericho, I certainly will. But there is an updated artwork of this one also. So that would have been 25th anniversary of this album last year. Anyways, check out Rebellion in Dreamland, awesome track. Gods of Deliverance, the track Farewell. There is features Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian. Time to Break Free, awesome song that features Michael Kiske with Kai singing too. What else is on here? Abyss of the Void, great track. Just a solid album from start to finish. And that leaves one more coming in at number 1. And this honestly has, since it came out, probably has always been my number 1. Absolutely love the production on this album. And by the way, most of these albums were produced by Kai and Dirk. And yeah, pretty much. maybe not so much on the first couple, but anyways, if you have not heard this album, I strongly encourage you to go check it out. Coming in at number 1 from 2001 is their 7th overall studio album, and probably one of the coolest covers, No World Order. There is not a weak track on this album. I promise you, it's that good. And yeah, and some very strong songwriting from even their drummer, Dan Zimmerman. He co-wrote, or he wrote, I think, Dethrone Tyranny, Damn the Machine. Check that track out. And this actually contains my 2nd overall favorite Gamma Ray song, called The Heart of the Unicorn. Absolutely love the guitar tone on this album. It's just very, I don't know, sometimes it's rude. It's absolutely, that's the word I use sometimes. I don't know why. I'm nuts, but whatever. Check it out. Also check out the track Solid. It will remind you of, it always reminds me of Judas Priest's Rapid Fire, that riff. And yet, you know what? Yes, you will hear those Priest, Iron Maiden riffs in here. But you know what? When you're emulating bands like that, you know what? It's not always a bad thing. Check out Heaven or Hell. It doesn't matter. Just check out this whole album. If you can snag a copy of this, number 1 from Gamma Ray, in my opinion, No World Order. Definitely pick it up. But, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I do like to do ranking videos that are, not your household names. Kai Hansen is, should be or is a household name, but a lot of people kind of miss the boat on some of the Gamma Ray stuff that needs to be checked out. But you know what? I enjoy doing bands like that, or the one I did previous to this for the band UDO, which a lot of you metal guys know, guys and gals know Accept stuff. Also, underrated bands like, Flotsam and Jetsam. They got a brand new album coming out. The list goes on. And I think I will tackle, I got a kind of a small short list of things I'd like to tackle for ranking videos. Primal Fear would be one of them. And I was thinking maybe I'm going to tackle the Scorpions next. I do love the 70s period of Scorpions. I love the 80s. Lots of good stuff there. Maybe Wasp would be another one to tackle. And eventually I'm going to do a Black Sabbath ranking. That'll be a big undertaking. Anyways, I'll cut it off here. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your favorite Gamma Ray albums. And are you excited for the new Halloween album coming out in about 4 weeks from now? I sure am. And until next time, stay heavy.